Question number 1 then, we've got given a graph, and the question is analyse the data in figure 2 to determine which 16-year-old student was working in his aerobic training zone. So you're allowed to take a calculator into the exam, and you need a calculator to do a bit of working out in order to get the answer for this one. So first thing we should be thinking is, what is aerobic training zone? So it's 60 to 80% of maximum heart rate. So the next thing we need to work out is, what is the maximum heart rate of these students? If they're 16 years old, maximum heart rate is 220 minus age. So 220 minus 16 is 204. We then need to start to work out their aerobic training zone. We said it's 60 to 80% of maximum heart rate. So we'd use our calculator now. To start with, we need to work out 60% of 204. So we would do 204 times 0.6, which equals 122.4. We then need to work out 80% of the maximum heart rate. So we do 204 times 0.8, which equals 163.2. So we know that these students, in order to be working in an aerobic training zone, need to be working between 122 and 163 beats per minute for their heart rate. If we look back to the graph, the only student who is doing that for the whole period is student B. So student C is in their aerobic training zone to start with, but they soon move out of that. A and D are working below, and B is the correct answer. So B, student B. The next question, we see a table to do with energy production, and the question is, justify why statement A in table 2 shows aerobic energy release. So if we're looking to compare or justify anything from a graph or a table, we're looking at the differences. So we're looking at the differences between statement A and statement B, which is showing the two different equations. So the difference between them, for the first mark, oxygen is present in statement A, and the second difference for the second mark is that the byproducts included in the energy release are water and energy. So it's quite a simple question that we're just looking at the difference between the two statements and saying what those differences are. Next question. Django is 16 and trains regularly at athletics club. Describe, using a Carvonian formula, simplified, how to calculate Django's aerobic target zone. So all we need to do for this is show our working out in order to get his aerobic target zone. It's very similar to the working out we did previously on the first question. It's even the same age. So the first thing we're going to be doing is saying that maximum heart rate is 220 minus age. Therefore, Django's maximum heart rate is 204. So that's going to be your first mark. 60% of 204 is 122.4. 80% of 204 is 163.2. Therefore, his Django's aerobic training zone is between 122 and 163 beats per minute. If you've worked that out and put the similar workings, then you're going to get all 3 marks. For a question like that, it is really important, rather than just writing down the correct answers and the overall results, that you show your workings out and you explain what you've done to get to that point. Final question, state how the calculation would change when calculating Django's anaerobic training zone. So hopefully we remember that anaerobic training zone is 80 to 90% of maximum heart rate. So if you put that 80 to 90% of maximum heart rate, you will get both marks.